For St. Louis, back deep for Dallas will be James Jones in the middle at least. Jones at the 1-yard line. Spotting things on the move. He can be dangerous. Penalty markers down all over the place already. Fumble. Cardinals after it. We'll have to wait to see about all the flags and the fumbles and who got the football.
That guy there in the stands, he's saying that St. Louis has it. That meant St. Louis's ball on the 7-yard line. But, you know, it is their ball. We still don't know what the penalties are yet, but St. Louis's ball on the 7-yard line. What a start for the Cardinals.
They have always been tough against Dallas here. E.J. Jr. is the man who came up with the football. The referee in the black hat is Chuck Heberling. The umpire is Gordon Wells. The head linesman, Ray Dote. Dale Oram, the line judge. Al Jury, the back judge. Dwayne Gandy, the side judge, and Charlie Musser.
Return. Illegal block from the rear by the blue. Refused. Holding by the blue. Refused. First down.
Well, they caught Dallas doing a lot of things on that first play wrong, didn't they? Maybe it's those new blue jerseys they have. Let's watch it again here. Lee Jones gets it, and he starts to the outside. He wanted to start up the middle and then bounce it to the outside, which he does. And right there, when he was hit, the ball bounced out. Oh, look, there's one of the holes right there. They were trying to stop Steve from getting the ball.
Oh, it'll be 1st and 10 Cardinals. From the 8-yard line, Morris bangs for a touchdown. First play from scrimmage. Wayne Morris getting the start in place of Theodis Brown. It's a touchdown, Dallas. St. Louis, a Dallas player injured on a play. Michael Downs is the injured Cowboy. The Cardinals have reason to celebrate.
You know, they do, and this was the thing. You know, they expected to beat Tampa Bay last week, and when they didn't, they've really been down. This may be the type of life that they need.
Oh, Donahue will kick, and Roger Worley will hold. The Cardinals lead 6-0, and now it's 7-0. Let's look at the touchdown again.
Look at this. St. Louis does a good job of firing off. It's against the flex defense down there. And then Morris gets squared away, and by the time Downs is there, he just runs right over him and backs into the end zone.
He blocked by Tom Brahaney, the center. Only 18 seconds have passed by, and the Cardinals already lead 7-0. After Jones fumbled a kickoff, this will be Jones again as O'Donohue spirals one down to the 3. Jones moves to the outside and down the sideline. Again, a penalty marker is down. Anthony Dickerson, I believe, was caught for an illegal block again.
That's right. The Cowboys have had 2 kickoff returns and 3 penalties. That's an average of 1.5 per kickoff return.
This one will not be refused.
Tom Landry's probably thinking, geez, what kind of start is this? He's saying, we're okay, we'll get it back.
And knowing Mr. Landry, that's just about the way he'll approach things. Here's the walk-off by Chuck Heberling, the referee.
On return, illegal block from behind, number 51. First down.
We're going to see it. It's more than an illegal block. You see it right there in the picture, number 51. It's Dickerson. Before he had the illegal block, he had a hole. That was one of those double dippers.
Dorsett and Springs will be the running backs. We'll get to the rest of the Dallas offense in just a minute. Dorsett in motion. It's back to Springs. Springs bangs outside to about the 16-yard line before E.J. Jr. trips him up. Number 54. Charlie Baker helped out. Here is the Dallas offense. First of all, the offensive backs and the receivers. White, the quarterback. Dorsett, Springs, Johnson, and Pearson wide. The offensive line, Dupree, Donovan, Scott, Rafferty, Peterson, and Jim Cooper.
You know, Jim Cooper is one of those guys that you don't talk much about, but watching him play and watching him on film, he's one of the best offensive linemen I've seen all year.
This is Dorsett. breaking into the secondary and picking up a Dallas first down. Knocked down by Ken Green, but Dorsett picked up about 10. Cardinal defensive line is a three-man front. Pollard, Dawson in the middle, and Curtis Greer.
Curtis Greer starting this week in place of Rush Brown.
Fabrin, Carney, E.J. Jr., and Baker, the linebackers. Secondary, Worley, Collier, Green, and Nelson.
And Roger Worley starting for his first time.
Worley right cornerback, Collier on the left side. First down, Dallas. At their own 25. They trailed 7-0. Jay Shelby is in the game. Set up as a flanker. Here goes Pearson in motion. Dorsett the lone setback. Dorsett. Eight ahead for about 3 or 4 before Charlie Baker, the linebacker, number 52, tripped him up.
We were talking earlier, Pat, that we have all this passing now and new rules and the great quarterbacks and Danny White and Hart and so on. Look how these people rank here, but it may boil down to the running back that gains the most yardage. And Dallas is first in rushing. St. Louis is last in defense, so that's a great matchup.
Second down, Dorsett got 3, they say. It's at the 28-yard line. It's 2nd and 7. And Danny White, with some confusion as the offensive setup, calls a timeout. So Dallas will have 2 left. St. Louis all of theirs. And White will make a visit over to Landry on the sideline and talk things over. Dallas decked out in the new blue. They trail 7-0. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited.
That is what? Written consent?
I've never seen it done yet, but
as opposed to a telephone call.
Danny White's booked so far. It's 2nd and 7. Springs is behind White. Springs in motion. White drops. Protection was adequate. Ball was deflected. Billy Joe Dupree made the dive. It's called incomplete. It's just as well he didn't catch it.
We'll see the pressure coming from Danny White's right side here. You see, he starts, and he's just getting to throw, and the left arm comes around and knocks the ball up in the air. That was a nose tackle, Mike Dawson, that did that.
Let's watch Billy Joe Dupree's act on this play.
He's working off. He's waiting for that short out. He said he's never seen one like that. It looked like it came out of a silo.
In the game is Tony Hill, Orange Johnson, and Pearson. Shotgun formation. White with time, throws and overthrows. Ron Springs, the intended receiver, and Dallas will have to punt. That means Danny White.
He overthrew Springs, but he darn near threw it to Collier. You see, Collier had a shot at that, and he wasn't even covering Springs. He was covering the next man out. He ended up in pretty good position.
Average 42.2. Deep man is Stump Mitchell, number 30 for the Cardinals, and he can go.
He was the second leading rusher in the NC2A last year behind George Rogers.
White doesn't get all of it. Trying to kick it away from Mitchell and does that. Out of bounds at about the 35 where the Cardinal offensive unit will now come on. Jim Hannafin with his back to you.
That's what Tom Landry said last night, that White has to keep the ball and kick the ball away from Stump Mitchell. And then Tom saying you did well, but not long enough.
That's Summerall with John Madden in St. Louis, where the Cardinals lead Dallas 7-0.
There's Dan Deerdorf. That's his right heel there. You see, he had an injury last week. Didn't practice all week. He wears a size 15 shoe. That's a size 16.
That thing looks like the Delta Queen. Here is Otis Anderson skipping straight ahead for a couple. Randy White on the bottom of the pile for Dallas. Help from Dutton and Ed Jones.
See, the team could have their pregame meal in that shoe, couldn't they?
Cardinal offense, Hart the quarterback. Morris, Anderson, Mel Gray back, and Pat Tilley. The offensive line, Marsh, Collins, Steve, Brahaney, Bostic, and Deerdorf.
Deerdorf didn't practice all week. He didn't even practice yesterday, but of course he's starting now.
2 yards for Anderson. It'll be second down. Stump Mitchell comes in motion. Anderson alone set back. Hart looking and quickly finding Pat Tilley. Big gainer for Tilley. Hart looked everybody away. Guy Brown finally made the tackle. The Cardinals move into Dallas territory.
And that was one of the things that Jim Hannafin told us last night, that he was going to play two halfbacks in the same backfield, Stump Mitchell and Otis Anderson. Now watch Hart on this one. He's really trying to hit Mitchell out there. See, he's looking short for Mitchell. He was covered, and boom, he comes right back to Tilley for a big gainer. Now, watch the pass protection there. It's pretty good. They're doing a good job on Harvey Martin there. He's looking out. He can't find him. He comes back to the inside, and that's the one he wanted.
23 yards on that pass to Tilley, and Hart's going to work again. Too tall Jones with the pressure on Hart. He underthrows. Intended for Stump Mitchell out of the backfield. The Dallas defense, the front four, Jones, Dutton, White, and Harvey Martin. The linebackers, Brown, Brunig, Lewis, and the young secondary, Walls, Thurman, Downs, and Charlie Waters.
They're supposed to be Charlie's Angels. Charlie Waters back there with the three young ones, especially the two young ones, Downs and Walls, the two rookies. Two rookie free agents. Now, that's an amazing story.
Second and 10 from the 39-yard line of Dallas. The Cardinals already lead them 7-0. Hart again. Gives to Anderson. Anderson with some room is pulled down by Charlie Waters after about 4 or 5.
Jim Hart was saying yesterday, the one thing about the Dallas defense is that they play a flex on first and second down running downs, and he said that's the best time to pass because you only have a two-man rush. So we can see that he's starting out that way. He wants to throw on first down.
That's the way the offense of St. Louis ranks in the Dallas defense. Look last in passing in the NFC. 14. Third down. And 6 for the Cardinals from the Dallas 36. The blitz is on. Hart steps up into the pocket. Taken down by Benny Barnes as the blitz is successful.
Well, that was the other thing that Jim Hart was talking about. He said the reason I don't want to throw on, that I want to pass, excuse me, I don't know if this makes any sense, but I want to throw on first down so I don't have to throw on third down. So I get this. You see Benny Barnes in there, 5 defensive backs, and they come in a blitz. He said that he'd rather throw against that flex than he would their 5 defensive backs and their maximum pass rush. Here he's seeing it right here.
I understand perfectly.
I did.
Birdsong back to punt for the Cardinals, standing at his own 45. Jones back at the 10. Oh, fine kick. Honey. That might be out of bounds near the 5. At the 7-yard line as Birdsong really rooted it. Cardinal quarterback Jim Hart very relaxed at the moment as his team leads 7-0.
There's a Herschel Walker in that, isn't there?
Sure is. And don't forget about John Henry running in that Champagne Stakes as well.
He used to be a football player too, John Henry Johnson.
Right. Not a bad one. Dorsett off to the races. Tony broke 2 tackles. Outside the 40 to the 43. Lee Nelson got him out of bounds, but Dorsett was almost off to the races.
Now there's a special football player. You know, he looks like he's a lot stronger this year, and you know, he's doing those types of things. Jim Hannafin was saying that it looks like you have him stop, but he can still make yardage, and he shows it here. So he starts, it's a little counterplay, fake to the left, and watch here, he starts, it's supposed to be an inside play. They miss the tackle, boom, bounces it to the outside, and then it's a race.
A race for 36 yards for Dorsett and a Dallas first down.
You know, we were talking about the right side. You know, Jim Cooper has done an excellent job of blocking on that right side, as Doug Cosby, number 84, did on that one.
All set up by the moves of Dorsett. White, way past fake, looking deep, throwing deep. Has Butch Johnson down to about the 8-yard line of the Cardinals. Where Roger Worley back there with him, but Butch Johnson continues to come up with a big play, and White hit him.
I'll tell you, he's a big leg guy. He's an exciting guy. We'll watch him. He's on Roger Worley, but this isn't all Roger Worley's fault. Now watch him. He's going to the post, which is an inside move. He starts there. See, Worley is playing outside, but watch number 37, Ken Green. He's supposed to give help to the inside. He got behind the safety. So that'll look like Roger Worley, but I think it was Ken Green.
48 yards on that play. The pass completion from White to Johnson. It's first and goal, Dallas. Dorsett spins into the end zone, but it'll be coming back shortly. Penalty marker down. Dallas, illegal.
They're celebrating down there. They don't realize it yet, but it's an illegal motion against the Cowboys. That'll come back to the original line of scrimmage plus 5 yards, or minus 5 yards, or 5 yards back.
It'll still be first and goal. But now
Illegal
from the 14.
motion. Offense, number 33. First down.
No wonder he got in there so quickly.
That's right. They're saying he sure got to that line of scrimmage awfully quick. Now what? See, he starts forward. Now, a back can start before the ball snap, but he can't start forward to the line of scrimmage. But look at that strength that he has in that body and those legs now. This really is a new Tony Dorsett.
Dorsett goes in motion to the left. White gives this time to Ron Springs, and Springs barrels down to about the 7 or 8 yard line before the Cardinals take him down. Calvin Favron made the tackle. Springs scored 3 touchdowns against the Cardinals in their first meeting, which Dallas won. John Makovic next to Tom Landry, signaling in the plays to Danny White.
He's looking in there hoping that they get sufficient time to get the signal and then break the huddle and get up to the line of scrimmage. They've had a lot of trouble with the 30-second clock this year.
Second and goal from just inside the 7-yard line. Dorsett and Springs behind White. Dorsett to the outside and into the end zone is Tony Dorsett. Herbert Scott with a good block out in front.
Tony, he just looks like it's all in a day's work, a little 5 there. And, you know, the guy that did make that was Herbert Scott. Now watch him. We'll see it again. Now watch the left guard right here. He'll pull out. He's running just about as fast as Dorsett, except he has a head start on him. But watch, he turns the corner. Right there, he gets a block on Roger Worley that springs Dorsett into the end zone.
And speaking of Springs, he got a key block inside as well. Cut off some more of the pursuit. This is Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters holding. Septien has not missed this year. He is 9 for 9. He has more field goals than he has extra points. Septien makes this a tie ball game at 7-all with 7:45 left first quarter. And there is Tony Dorsett. And what can you say about the way he has come on this year? Not that he wasn't good before.
You know, the one thing I think you can say is that he's really had a good start. I talked to him in training camp, and he said that the difference that he wants this year is to get off to a strong and good start, and he's really done it.
Right now, for an NFL report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat, the Washington Redskins trailing San Francisco by 7. They'll go to Terry Metcalf. Metcalf, following his blockers, comes around the end. He is hit and he fumbles, and Dwight Hicks picks it off at the 20 and goes the distance for the 49ers. And next Sunday, it's the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. The Niners now leading 14-0. Let's go back to Pat Summerall.
Here, Brent, it's 7-all as Tony Dorsett has carried the ball 4 times, picked up 55 yards.
You know, the reason you're saying that, I know we may as well tell the people, is that I have a feeling today that Otis Anderson is going to gain more yardage than Tony Dorsett, and you have chosen Dorsett, so let's admit it.
Well, let's just say we made a gentleman's wager about who'd gain more yards.
I've noticed Dorsett's getting a lot of call.
Tom Mitchell tries to field it, but doesn't. It's Jeff Griffin who comes with it, and Griffin barrels outside the 30. Knocked down by Guy Brown, who'll stay in and play defense. Tony Dickerson also on the play. First down, Cardinals, with 7:37 left in the first quarter, and the game tied at 7 apiece. The Dallas drive.
And that's what they can do to you. Look at that, 93 yards in 4 plays.
A big run by Dorsett, a big pass from White to Johnson. A Dorsett touchdown that was called back. A bang by Springs, and a touchdown again by Dorsett that was allowed. Hart. O.J. Anderson. Now he's got some room. And the juice. Out of bounds at midfield.
Look at the size of that game. He looks like a tackle coming out there. How would you like to be the guy that has to tackle him? Now watch here, the block there by Morris. Now that springs him. That gets the corner for him up the sideline, and he knows what to do when he gets running up there, doesn't he?
He is not only big, but he is strong and fast, and boy, what qualities he's got. Look at that block on ground by Morris. And speed does the rest. First down, Cardinals at midfield. May not have enough room on the scoreboard to make this game going. Hart on first down will throw under pressure. Harvey Martin. Bob Brunig was the first man to make Hart duck under his arm.
You know, that was a first down play. Now this is something that the Cowboys don't do an awful lot of on running downs, and that's blitz. But they understand, you know, that the Cardinals are going to throw on first down, so they're going to start blitzing as they did Bob Brunig that time.
And nobody picked him up. Harvey Martin gets credit for the sack. But it was Brunig who applied the pressure. And again, Dallas expecting pass. The ball is given to Morris. He gets back to about the 48 before Randy White trips him up. It'll be third down for St. Louis. 6:45 and the clock running left in the first quarter.
Jim Hart is also getting the signals we see right here. He gets the signals from the sideline. They have 2 signal callers over there, one giving a live signal and the other one a phony one in case someone wants to try and steal their signal.
3rd and 13. Someone would like to steal their signal. I know that. Hart straight back. Blitz is on again. They pick it up this time. Pass is going to be complete to Roy Green. Or is it Mel Gray? I'm not sure.
Now that was Roy Green. Now there's another amazing story. He was a safety. They switched him to wide receiver when they ran out of wide receivers, and now he's playing both. He still works with the defense. He still plays defense, and he's also playing the wide receiver. He's a great athlete.
Should give some credit, John, to the offensive line of the Cardinals. They did a good job picking up that blitz.
They did, and that's one thing that they're going to have to do all day because I think they're going to see a lot of it.
On the 30, first down to St. Louis. Give this to Anderson. Covered up after a couple up the middle. Randy White, John Dutton, the middle of the Dallas defense. Amazing Vikings over Chicago 10-0. Stump Mitchell in the game along with Anderson. Morris is out. Pat Tilley comes wide to the left. Green is wide to the right. Mitchell in motion. Hart looks to the left. Throws to Tilley. Same play that worked so well earlier. Inside the 15 to about the 14.
Jim Hart likes that. Tilley likes that. You know, I think the first time it was a mistake. You know, they put Stump Mitchell out there. He looked out there to Stump Mitchell to try and throw it to him. And this time he said, it worked so well, let's just do it. Tilley, you run in there on a slant, and I'll throw it to you.
Michael Downs, who was injured a little bit earlier, twisted his neck, but he's back in the game and healthy, it appears. Another Cardinal first down at the Dallas 15. Score tied 7-all. Anderson looking for running room. Picks up 2, perhaps. Randy White underneath the pile, along with Brunig.
You know, the left guard for the Cardinals is Terry Steve, and He's the guy that has to block Randy White most of the day. We watched the films in the last game, and he really did a good job against him, didn't he?
All day long, he did a good job.
And that wouldn't be fun, you know, to come out and see Randy White in that frog stance and be so strong.
A 50-yard field goal by Stenerud has given Green Bay a 3-0 lead over the Giants as the Cardinals now take a timeout and have 2 left. San Francisco 14-0 over the Redskins.
And next week we'll see them against Dallas. That'll be a real shootout, won't it?
I'll say. Joe Montana having a good year.
I think Joe Montana's the #1 quarterback in the NFC, and Danny White's the #2 quarterback.
It'll be a great trip for you, I'm sure, being able to stay home a while.
We won't have to take a train. Look at the coach here, Ernie Stautner. Now, there's a man. Remember when he played? You talk about a tough guy.
Oh.
Whew.
My ears still ring from the days against him.
I think a lot of guys' ears are still ringing from days against him.
Jim Hart in his 17th year as a Cardinal, matching his number.
It's hard to think of the Cardinals without Jim Hart as quarterback.
It really is. I was asking him yesterday who it was he replaced, and he couldn't remember. He said, I think it was Charlie Johnson. Later today, Joe Namath and Ricky Schroeder star the special that shows just how much athletics and music have in common. So don't miss an orchestra as a team, too, later today over most of these CBS stations.
I know Ricky Schroeder. He was a soccer-style field goal kicker. Who was the other guy?
Namath. Oh, he's a dancer.
Had a lot of long days against Joe Namath.
I'll bet.
Did he throw that ball?
And he was healthy. There weren't many better.
Nope.
2nd down and 8 at the 13 for St. Louis. Cardinals on the move against this Dallas defense that has indeed given up a lot of yards against the pass. They lead the NFC in interceptions, the NFL in interceptions. Here's Hart to challenge them again. He has Green inside the 5 to about the 3. Hart, hot, and on the money.
Hart's just saying there, he's found something inside, Pat, that he likes because, you know, he's hit Tilley in there twice and now Green. Watch, they put someone to the outside and then just bring Green in underneath. Now watch Green. He's the outside guy. See, Tilley's the inside, 83. Tilley will go out. Green comes in underneath. And that's been very effective thus far.
It's 1st and goal from the 3 for St. Louis. Score is tied at 7. Here's Anderson. Slipping down at about the 5. Ed Jones making sure he stays there. Again, it rained almost all morning, so this artificial surface is slippery and still very wet.
We got here early this morning, and there were a lot of players out there trying on different shoes because artificial turf does have a different feeling and a different footing when it gets wet.
25 is Roy Green, who plays offense and defense.
He's everywhere. He's 25.
3 setbacks, and now Morris goes in motion. Hart takes to Anderson, throws, intended for his tight end Marsh. Incomplete.
You know, they get in this same formation to make the Cowboys think run. Then they play fake, and they're trying to get Marsh deep to the corner. But it was real good coverage by Guy Brown. That was tough. He had to line up on Marsh, play the run, and then still cover him deep in the corner.
They've always said that Guy Brown has all the tools to be a great linebacker. He's never really gotten a chance until Hegman got hurt. And now Guy Brown just illustrated some of that athletic ability. It's 3rd and 5, 3 wide receivers for St. Louis. Hart quickly outside. Willard Harrell couldn't quite make it to the end zone. He went out of bounds at about the 2. Do you go or do you kick?
I would think I would kick a field goal, and that's probably what they're going to do now. The fans don't like it, but I would think that Jim Hart probably should have gotten the ball up into the end zone. This is very tough. Dallas is a good defense. They tackle well, they pursue, and you aren't going to hit something and run 5 yards. You should throw it into the end zone, I would believe.
He try for the field goal. He is 6'6" and 210. Soccer-style kicker from Auburn. That is not a penalty marker to the right side of your picture. Donahue puts the Cardinals ahead. With that field goal, it's 10-7. St. Louis, an explosive first quarter. Dallas hasn't been able to stop him at all. And the Cardinals lead 10-7.
St. Louis really hasn't been able to stop Dallas either. They've had that turnover, but this may be one of those games you just said that may just put a lot of points up there.
What a nice guy he is, Jim Hannafin.
He sure is. He looks like he's been playing on special teams. The shirt tail out, the headset around his neck. He may have had a few hits on that sideline.
James Jones back deep for Dallas, the speedster from Mississippi State. Buffalo laying it on Baltimore at the minute. 14-0.
Buffalo's a good team. I think they're one of the best in the AFC. They're too good to lose 3 in a row.
Donahue will kick off. Jones deep. High hanging kick at the 5. And Jones barrels outside the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Dallas will operate for there as you look at the St. Louis bench. Deerdorf and Bostic, 2 of their offensive linemen. Terry Steve now being looked at. The size of the arms on him. No wonder he's successful.
Those are arms against arms. You know that Randy White on the other side has a pretty good set of arms, too.
19-yard field goal by O'Donoghue has put the Cardinals ahead 10-7. Rafferty the center. Jay White the quarterback. The lone setback is Dorsett as Salvi sets up as a flanker on the right, and Pearson goes in motion to the left. And White will throw. Pass complete. Butch Johnson again gets a Dallas first down.
You notice all the stuff that they do before they snap the ball. They get set. They have all this motion. That's why they need the full 30 seconds. You see, White out there had a screen to the left. Did you see the lineman out there? That was an option. If they come up, you know, he throws the ball deep. If they stay back, he would have thrown the screen.
Drew Pearson comes out wide to the right. Dallas going with 2 tight ends at the moment. Cosby on the left side and Dupree on the right side. Dorsett and Springs, the runner. Springs down into Cardinals territory, a pickup of 4. Bob Pollard made the stop.
You know, the 2 guys that may not get a lot of work today may be the 2 punters.
It sure looks like it. So far, Birdsong has punted once and White has punted once. We've still got 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Cardinals leading 10-7. Maybe one more play in this direction. Cowboys will have to hurry to get that done. Nope. Well, they'll change ends. They don't have far to walk as a result of them being close to midfield. At the end of 1, it's St. Louis 10, Dallas 7. We're right by the arch in St. Louis, the home of the Cardinals.
He's walking, yes indeed, a dingo man down to his feet. I'm hoping that he'll walk up to me. How you gonna stop him if he walks on by? I'll follow him till I catch his eye. He's independent and he sure is tall. The dingo man, he's got it all. He's walking, yes indeed, a dingo man down to his feet. I'm hoping that he'll walk up to me.
Dingo Boots. Get in step.
Hey, Roger. Do you mind if I borrow your Wagoneer to go camping?
Well,
Hey, Raj. I'm off to the slopes. Can I take the Wagoneer?
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Tough Americans, American Motors and its AMC Jeep and Renault dealers, and by Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste.
Summerall with John Madden in St. Louis, where the Cardinals lead the Cowboys 10-7. But the Cowboys are on the move and in Cardinal territory again. On first down, Dallas has averaged 17.3 yards per play. St. Louis 4.5. Either one of those is bad. No. That springs the lone setback, and Dorsett going in motion. And off springs, it wrapped up just before he could get underway by Bob Pollard. Good play.
It was a delay or draw type play, and Pollard got penetration. He took a pinch move, and he penetrated and got into the backfield before Springs had a chance to get started.
Time of possession in the first quarter. Dallas had the ball 5 minutes 48 seconds. St. Louis 9:22. And the Cardinals lead 10-7. Three wide receivers for Dallas as Butch Johnson and Drew Pearson go wide to the right, and Tony Hill is split alone to the left. Shotgun formation. Cardinals blitz it. White gets rid of it in a hurry. Intended for Tony Hill, but all Danny White could do was unload. Only 4th and 6.
Danny White saying they didn't count everyone there because no one blocked Bob Pollard. He moved from end to tackle, and he came right up the middle, and he was untouched, and that's what Danny White was looking at.
If he hadn't been in a shotgun, that might have been a loss instead of an incomplete pass because he saw everything coming. Stump Mitchell, number 30, back deep for the Cardinals. White is the Dallas punter. He will run. Heading for the left sideline in the direction of Green and Mitchell, and White gets it out of bounds at about, well, let's see. At the 13-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 Cardinals. And the Cowboy defense hasn't been able to contain them as yet. Landry looking on. 1st and 10 Cardinals. They lead Dallas 10-7. Rushing comparisons for Dorsett and Anderson so far. Dorsett almost 60. Anderson about 30.
That'll change.
First down Cardinals. Stump Mitchell in the backfield with Anderson. Back to Anderson. He just changed it. He got about 3. Ed Jones on the tackle.
Dan Deerdorf was saying yesterday, again, he didn't practice all week. He has that heel problem. He was wearing a bigger shoe on one foot than the other foot. And I was saying, are you going to be able to play? And he says, heck yes, I'll be able to play. He said, Too Tall Jones wouldn't know how to act if I weren't there. Look at the size of that guy, 72. Now, there's a perfect 72. There's an NFL tackle.
They list him as 290, and I think that's pretty accurate. Hart back to throw. A little bit of pressure, not much. It's Roy Green out by himself, and Hart just had a little too much. Everson Walls back there, but Hart had Green wide open.
He had a few steps on Everson Walls. Tom Landry was saying, he said, the guy, I don't know how he does it. He said he doesn't have that much speed. He said his feet flop out. He said, but he's always around the ball, and they don't complete him on him. Watch Roy Green here now. He starts off, that's Guy Brown, a linebacker on him, and we'll see Walls come over right here. You see, he settled. He thought it was going to be a hook, and Green ran right by him. Oh, look at that. Just about 2 steps.
That was all she wrote, if the ball had been there correctly. Easier to talk about than it is to execute. 3rd and 6 from the 17. Cowboys taking a blitz. Hart, quick pass to Chile, 1st down. He got him again. Dennis Thurman, the tackler. For an update right now, let's swing you back to New York and Fritz Musburger for an update on what's happening around the NFL.
All right, Pat, here is what is happening. Lynn Dickey using Lofton to set up this play. Then he went to his tight end, Paul Kaufman, for a touchdown. Packers lead the Giants 10-0. Back to Pat Summerall.
Right here, Brent, it's 10-7 St. Louis. Cardinals First down at the 30. Wayne Morris in the backfield now with Otis Anderson, the deep back of the eye. Should be about Anderson's turn to carry. And it is. Shakes off one tackler. Penalty marker goes down.
You probably wonder how Charlie Waters got in on that play. He was on a safety blitz, and did he time that? Someone probably tried to grab him as he went by, but he started outside from his strong safety position, and boom, he hit that and he got into the backfield before Otis Anderson could get turned upfield.
A discussion with Chuck Eberling, the referee, with the Dallas members of their defensive unit.
Illegal block above the waist from behind. Number 66 offense. First down.
I'm sure that's going to be. Now watch Charlie Waters. See him come through there? He really hit that thing. See, and he gets there and he gets Anderson before he gets started. He didn't make the tackle, but 4 other jerseys came.
Makes it first and 20, Cardinals. Still the same backfield setup. Morris and Anderson behind Hart. Ball play Anderson. He's got some room. Otis fumble. Dallas ball, I believe.
They're pointing that way. Those officials have to dive down in that pile and find out who has the ball yet. Jim Hannafin looks like he thinks he knows.
Yep. Too tall. Jones comes out with it. Dallas has the football.
Watch it here. Now watch Too Tall there. He started on a pass rush. It was a delay or a draw. Anderson gets to the outside. He probably should have kept going to the outside. Right there, as Walls hits him, the ball comes out, and Too Tall ends up on the bottom of that big pile of bodies.
A lot of strange conversation and a lot of unusual things go on in the bottom of those piles.
Like biting and scratching.
Dallas the pitches back to Dorsett. Dorsett dragged down by Charlie Baker, the linebacker. Set to about the 20, make it to 21.
This is the second time that the Cowboys have worn these new uniforms, and I like them better than those old ones. They're a little darker. Tex Schramm was telling you that they're going to change the numbers, though, that they're kind of hard to read.
Make them a little bit more visible. Outline them a little bit. Set again. Flipped up at about the 19. Baker again.
You know, we have a nugget here on that formation. That's the formation where Dorsett is the lone setback that we just saw there, and it's called the Jayhawk because Jay Saldy is the extra tight end, and Dorsett's nickname is Hawk, so that's called Jayhawk formation. That's a nugget, isn't it?
That is a nugget. Greg Aiello, who does such an outstanding job helping us and working with the Cowboys publicity department, gave us that nugget. Third down, 5 from the 20. Shotgun for Dallas. See if the Cardinals blitz it again. Yes, sir. White quickly. Outside, Ron Springs fighting for a first down. I think he got it. Roy Green tackled him. There he is on defense. You saw him on offense moments ago.
There is a guy that does everything. You know, I think on this play we just saw the advantage of the shotgun, that White was back there. They came on a blitz, and he had plenty of time. Now there's Makovic. He's given the signal. You see, he got it in right on the 30 seconds. So now they have plenty of time to call the play, get up, go through their motions, and get it off within the 30-second limit.
And as Landry was saying to us last night, they need the full 30 seconds. As much moving and shuffling as they do. Dorsett to about the 9, maybe the 8.
Looks like he liked that one. He looked like he gave a little smile on that play. He must have saw some, you know, sometimes those quarterbacks like to get up there and see those big linemen, Jim Cooper and Kurt Peterson, Tom Rafferty, those guys in the trenches. They like to watch them from behind and say, hey, that's good.
But I'm glad I don't have to do it. Ball available on the scoreboard against Buffalo, and that's 14-3. Dallas second down. Dorsett goes deep in the eye. White, a lot of time. Billy Joe Dupree. The pass is complete down to about maybe the 7-yard line. Perhaps a yard pickup is all. Lee Nelson wrapped up Dupree.
Lee Nelson was playing him about as tight as you can play on secondary coverage. As you say, if he gained anything, it was just a yard. That's not even worth throwing it for that, is it?
Not worth taking a chance putting it in the air. It'll be third down. Cosby checks in now. Third, 5 from the 8. Looking in the direction of Drew Pearson. The pass just took off as Lee Nelson was the defender. And we'll see Septien.
Drew's saying something. I think he looked a little too long, because Collier was in a zone. You see, and he looked, and he brought 4 defenders right into that area by looking at Drew Pearson all the way. That may have been what Drew was saying. Throw it to me, fine, but don't watch me all the way.
Septien from 26 yards out with Charlie Waters holding. I'd say he's having a pretty good year. 14 out of 15. He only kicked 11 field goals the entire season last year. He's already got 14. Now he has 15. Raphael Septien ties the game for Dallas. So Raphael Septien goes smiling to the sidelines as with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first half, it's Dallas 10, St. Louis 10. Raphael Septien will kick off. Number 30 is Stump Mitchell, the rookie from the Citadel. Cardinals really like him. Septien. Mitchell from the 3. They take a reverse. Mitchell still has it. And Mitchell fights to about the 25-yard line, knocked out of bounds by Doug Cosby. And the Cardinals will take it over there. Next week, CBS Sports Saturday. Top Cowboys here and Top Cowboys 2 at the Calgary Stampede. All those from Canada and the United States. Don't miss that excitement. And don't miss the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Champagne Stakes. Next Saturday on Sports Saturday here on CBS. First and 10. Marsh swings out wide to the left. Cowboys go into their flex. Hart goes quickly to Mel Gray. And Mel Gray's streak stays alive.
Jim Hart told us yesterday that he was going to do that right off the bat. He said, I'm going to get that right to Mel as soon as I can and get it over with. And he didn't get it in there until the second quarter.
Mel Gray, who's had so many devastating days for the Cardinals against Dallas. Here he is.
That's one way. Jim Hart again says that he likes that play on first down to get it out there. See, he picked up 6 yards and create a 2nd and 4. That's really not a bad first down play.
Line of scrimmage at 32 as Mitchell is with Anderson in the backfield. Anderson to the outside, and with some room for a moment, he has a Cardinal first down. Guy Brown out there with him. But O.J. picks up a first.
Watch this. We're talking about the play in the pits. Now watch number 54, Randy White, and Stevie there. There's arms against arms. You see, Stevie had him, but White was flexed, and he was reading that play, which makes him play like a linebacker, which I guess he was at one time. That's why he got number 54.
That's right. Chuck Howley's old number.
Harvey Martin was saying, I took the inside there, you got the outside.
First and 10, St. Louis at the 35. Again, Dallas goes to the flex defense. And Hart goes to throw against it. And he does. It overthrows Doug Marsh. He had to get rid of it quickly. Penalty marker down.
And that'll be against Dallas because you know what happened? that'll be against Charlie Waters. He grabbed Marsh as he came out. He was coming up there like a blitz, Pat, and then he saw it was a pass, and he grabbed Marsh. Yep, they caught him, too. That deep guy, he always watches that tight end. He doesn't miss those things. Charlie Waters is up there to blitz thinking it was a run, and when it was a pass, he said, oh, there's my man. I got to grab him.
Defense, number 41.
Yeah, you did catch him. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not supposed to talk, but those officials talk that they did catch him in that way. Watch him. Watch Charlie Waters, 41. See, he starts inside like he's blitzing, and there goes Marshall. He said, oh, there's my man.
Oh, he's got a real square dance hold on him.
Do-si-do.
First down for the Cardinals at their own 40. 8:15 left in the first half. It's 10 apiece. Tilley comes in motion. Wall comes with him. Under pressure, throws it up. Lucky that that one was not picked off as Hart was under heavy rush.
He was under a heavy rush by Harvey Martin, and that's a tough one for a right-handed quarterback. Harvey Martin came from his left side or backside, and Hart really didn't see him until Harvey Martin arrived.
The 49ers have got things working. 17-3 over Washington. Things are not working in Washington. It'll be 2nd and 10, Cardinals. Marsh, the tight end, number 87. Tilley and Gray go out to the left. Anderson and Mitchell, the running backs. The stunt. Mitchell gets to about the 46 before John Dutton and the group stack him up. A little altercation for the moment, but that settled down quickly.
Umpire Gordon Wells was giving some kind of sign there. I guess that meant that it was okay, that whatever they did was okay. Now watch Stump Mitchell. Again, he's playing halfback, which puts Otis Anderson as a fullback leading. See, Anderson leads in there and gets a pretty good block.
Excellent job by Anderson. Here's Jim Hart crouching in the huddle. He had some interesting things to say yesterday, John. He wants to play a long time more, he said. Nowhere near the end of his career.
And he said, if I can't play here, I know I can play somewhere else.
3rd and 3 at the 47. Hart gives on the draw to Anderson, and he shakes for a first down. Randy White on him. But the Cardinals get the first.
Look at him. He's talking to someone. Now watch in the right-hand side of your screen, Deerdorf against Too Tall Jones. See, he gets him there. Too Tall just missed him as he went by. You know, Anderson is so big. He's really tough to tackle. I mean, he looks like a guard.
What was his problem? Acidosis?
He has acidosis, which, you know, he got real tired for the first few games. He looks a little tired there now, but they said they had to balance his pH factor.
Well, he's got pretty good balance. Charlie Waters and Guy Brown take him down this time after he picked up 1.5, perhaps.
They played down in Tampa last week, and Otis Anderson was getting tired all the time, and so they put him in the hospital, and they did a lot of tests on him, and they found out that he had acidosis, which was a high acid content in his system.
Here he comes out of the game now. He's been taking medication since they found out what they thought was wrong with him. He has 11 carries for 50 yards. Hart has the pass deflected. He was looking again inside for Tilley. That quick pass that's been so effective so far. Brunig had it read pretty well this time. It'll be 3rd down.
That was probably the adjustment that the Cowboys have made. They couldn't get any coverage on him deep, so they put underneath or linebacker coverage and Bob Brunig to help in that slant area.
Anderson changing his shoes right now. He cuts the toe out of one of his shoes because this artificial turf irritates when he runs and cuts as only he can. But apparently he's not satisfied with the equipment he had, so he's making a change. It's 3rd down, Cardinals. Willard Harrell in the game now with Mitchell. Hart doesn't have to hurry. Pat Tilley, I believe, was the intended receiver, and he slipped down. So nobody was near, and Birdsong will come on a punt.
Right, he only had 2 receivers out there. He had Tilley, who slipped, and then on the other side he had Roy Green deep, and nothing was open, so Jim Hart just threw that one away.
There is Carl Birdsong. Only punted one time. And it was 33 yards, but it went out of bounds at the 7, so it wasn't that bad. James Jones back deep for Dallas. And Birdsong will angle this one for the sideline as well. Good hanging kick. And the Cardinals tried to down it. They went into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20. They almost made it work. Not a bad effort by that man. 44-yard punt. We have 5 minutes, 37 seconds left to play in the first half. It's Dallas 10 and the St. Louis Cardinals 10. Summerall with John Madden in St. Louis. You look at Tom Landry, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Green Bay 13-0 over the Giants in the second period.
Was that a squint or a smile on Tom's face?
Knowing Tom, I would think it has to be called a squint.
Quite a guy.
Dynamic. Pearson in motion to the right. Salvi sent up to the left. That's that Jayhawk formation. As Dorsett swings around to the outside, is knocked out of bounds and tackled out of bounds by E.J. Jr. Picked up 4.
Tony Dorsett hurt his hip or has a cramp or something. He's walking awfully slowly back to the hut. In fact, he's going out now. Tony Dorsett's taking himself out.
He waved to the sideline for some help, and now he gets back to the huddle. And still Dorsett wants to be replaced.
Yeah, they don't see it. It's on the other side of the field, and the Cowboys sideline hasn't seen it yet.
And also shaken up and limping was Salvi. And he goes out. And Crosby replaces him, and White is going to take a timeout.
I think that's what it is. I wonder if he's going to tell the sideline that Tony Dorsett. Now watch number 54, the #1 draft choice of the Cardinals this year, starting, and we get a pretty good thing on him. You know, one thing at Alabama, he could really run and tackle, and he just showed he can still do it.
He sure can. He was a defensive end in college, but he's accommodated himself to being a linebacker. This discussion, I believe, is because the clock was allowed to continue running.
Right, they didn't stop the clock when Dallas took time out. There's 4 minutes and 56 seconds, and I think there was over 6 minutes on the clock when this all started. It'll be interesting to see how much time they put back up there. It'll be interesting to see if someone was watching, in fact.
I have to believe that someone was. That's the time that we have on the scoreboard, 4 minutes, 56 seconds. We think there is more time remaining than that. Dallas is down now to 1 timeout in the first half. St. Louis has 2. 18 is Glenn Carano, the backup quarterback for Dallas.
I bet you Tom Landry knows how much time there is left, or someone there.
He wouldn't need a clock to tell you how much time. Now they are resetting, I believe.
It was 6-something.
This may be too tough for all of them.
Nope, that's not. No, yeah, okay, see, they're saying no, too. Oh, they like that 5:32.
There was a small problem with the clock. It has now been repaired, and the clock will still be official.
I don't know if that's a small problem or
I'm not
not.
so sure either. Coming up at the half, Brent Musburger and Irv Cross with scores and highlights from around the league. And a look at NFL running backs, and there are some good ones. 2 of them right here. Tony Dorsett and Otis Anderson. It is 2nd and 7 for Dallas. Dorsett is still in the game. He shook off whatever was bothering him. That's Danny White's hand under Rafferty. Drew Pearson goes in motion to the right. A long count. White fake throws. Has a man open. Butch Johnson again will have the Dallas first down. With those new numbers from as far away as we are, it is difficult to distinguish 86 from 88.
Right. And the other thing about those new numbers is you have to be pretty big to wear them. You know, they're big numbers, and they cover up the back. Now, watch Butch Johnson here. See, the outside man, Pearson, runs a deep pattern. He runs just a little outer hook in that area. You know, he has the biggest, strongest hands that I think I've seen on a wide receiver. Butch Johnson, yeah. He's not a big guy, but he has strong hands.
He only weighs about 180 now.
He used to, that's about 10 pounds less, isn't it, than he used to?
There's Dorsett for 2 or 3. Harney on the tackle.
Harney's in on a lot of tackles. He's the leading tackler on the Cardinal defense, and he plays one of the inside linebackers, and he's also the linebacker that calls the defenses.
Dorsett has 9 carries for 70 yards. There's the comparison between the two great runners.
Yes, I wonder if that red is going to catch the blue. The hunt is on.
It is 2nd down and 8 at the 38. Score tied at 10. Here comes Dorsett in motion. Fake draw. White. Pass to Dorsett. Ball is down. Dorsett is down. Harley Baker made the tackle, and a good play on Tony Dorsett.
Oh, the crowd doesn't like that one, and Danny White doesn't either. One thing, Tony Dorsett is so effective that he draws a crowd. They really don't play off of him. See, they just tried to get him to the outside, and Baker played him real tight and was right there when he caught the ball.
Herbert Scott was the blocker out there quickly, but nothing doing for Dorsett. And it's 3rd down and 19 after that loss. And White moves now back into the shotgun. Arnold coming, and White off the fingertips of Butch Johnson, and the Cowboys will have the punt.
On these passing downs, the Cowboys go to the 5 defensive box. Now watch Collier. He's up there. He was tight on Butch Johnson. He can hit in the first 5 yards, and that was really effective to throw off the timing of the pattern.
And White will have to punt. Averaging 35 yards today. 37 is long. That's not a good day on Danny White standards.
We'll probably have to punt this one too, Stump Mitchell.
Doesn't catch this one either. Stump signaling fair catch. Fumble. Cowboys get it back. Dallas ball. Titanser makes a recovery.
I'll tell you, that was one that Stump Mitchell tried to fair catch. And he thought, you know, the punt was shorter than he thought. He had to run up to it, and it looked like he slipped just before the ball got there. Watch him. You see, he did slip, and he was really on the ground when the ball got there. Movement goes out, and Titanser ends up on it.
It'll be 1st down Dallas at the 35-yard line of St. Louis. Cowboys with a chance now. 1 timeout left. 2:52 left first half. 10 in the score. Tony Hill split wide to the left. Drew Pearson out wide to the right. Fake is to Dorsett. White slip. Throws. Tony Hill is out of bounds. No good. Roger Worley, the defensive back.
See, that was on the Cardinal sideline. They were all saying, no, it's not any good. Tony Hill looks like he agrees with him now. And we'll watch him. He's going to run it out on Worley. He starts up, makes the move to the outside. Now, again, both feet have to be in. Nope, they weren't. Saw the right foot was on the line and the left foot was out. He didn't even have 1 foot in. Good call.
And no argument from Tony Hill. Hill goes out to the right this time, and Pearson comes to the left. Springs and Dorsett, the 2 setbacks. Here comes the Cardinal blitz. Handoff is to Dorsett, and he never gets near the line of scrimmage. As Tony is buried by Rush Brown and Curtis Greer.
And Danny White just jumping back to the huddle, just shaking his head, because that's one that you like to run those draws when they're pass rushing and playing zone. When they're blitzing, Danny White said, we didn't have a chance on that one. And you really don't on a blitz.
Butch Johnson just came in with a play. Dorsett goes out. And Doug Donnelly has replaced him. Donnelly and Hill go wide to the right. Johnson and Pearson come wide to the left. So technically there are 4 wide receivers in the game now.
4 wide receivers, 5 defensive backs.
Here come the Birds. And again for Donnelly. Broken up by Roy Green. And the Cardinals hold the Cowboys, much to the delight of this sellout crowd at Busch Stadium.
That has been one of the problems that the Cardinals have had this year, is their defense, but they're really playing the Cowboys tough in this first half. Now Stump gets another chance. He says, you know, I didn't do too well on that last one. I fell down, but let me have it again. And I'm sure Danny White is thinking, I'm not going to give it to him. And Danny White is going to angle or try and kick this ball out of bounds.
Stump Mitchell is 5'9", 188. And we have to wait a little for that kick, so you're given the 2-minute notification. 10-10 the score between Dallas and St. Louis. St. Louis has 2 timeouts remaining. Dallas only 1. Cowboys have the football, but it's 4th and 15 at the Cardinal 40. The score tied 10 apiece. There is Stump Mitchell, who I'm sure is thinking about the last time he tried to field a Danny White punt and let it get away. Rafferty is the center.
He has that left elbow taped up. That's kind of tough to snap that way.
This looks like it might work out okay for White. Bounces into the end zone as Benny Barnes was down there trying to pat it back. The Cardinals will bring it out and take it over from the 20.
And Benny Barnes knows that he can't do that. You know, you can knock the ball back if your feet aren't in the end zone. If you go in the end zone and knock it back, of course, it comes to the 20, which is what we have here. Bring it back to the 20. That's it. Put it down right there. That's okay.
A minute, 47 seconds left in the first half. San Francisco, the 49ers really got it going now. 24-3 over Washington. We'll be there next week. Minnesota's got it going, too. 17-0 over Chicago. Boy, they're a mystery, aren't they?
You know, and that Tommy Kramer, he can put some points in the board. When that guy gets hot, he's really something.
13-0 Green Bay over the Giants. First down here for the Cardinals. 10-10 score. Hart has Tilley again. At Tilley wide open, looking for some place to go. Can't get away from Dennis Thurman. Shy of a first down. He's still at about 7. Cardinals hurry up.
That's that same pass that we've seen. That's a 4th one that Tilley is caught in there on that delay inside thing. Let's see if they throw it again. Come right back with it.
Why not? Here's Hart going to work quickly. Green tackled by Waters. An amazing athlete is Roy Green. Cardinals take a timeout. Excuse me, John.
And Hart has a lot of confidence in him. You can see here, he's looking to the right. He's watching Roy Green all the way. He sees him and gives him the ball. He says he really likes to throw to this guy.
And you can see why. 10-10. The preceding message was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Don't forget to stay with us at halftime. We'll send you back to New York with Brent Musburger and Herb Cross for an update on what's happening around the league. Right here, a minute, 16 seconds left, first half. Score tied, Cardinals 10, Cowboys 10. Jim Hart going to work on first down. Hart looking for some place to go, has no place. Randy White takes him to the turf.
He was trying to go deep out here to his tight end, Doug Marsh, and it was real good coverage on him. Michael Downs was on him, just running stride for stride, and he didn't have a chance. But the protection was pretty good. He just didn't have anyone open.
Jim Hannafin sends in Willard Harrell and Mel Gray. And the Cardinals will operate with Green to the right. Gray and Tilley out to the left, and Harrell in the backfield with Anderson. Anderson stays in the block. Hart throws, almost picked off by Everson Walls, who seems to be ever near the ball.
He is something. He just had, some people just have the feel to do things, intercept passes or recover fumbles, whatever. And Everson Walls really does have that. Tom Landry was saying when he came to camp, he didn't think that he had a chance to make this team. He said, and then every day he would just keep getting an interception, doing something, and he said you just couldn't cut him.
It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Cardinals. Hart. Number 31. Pass was deflected by Anthony Dickerson. Tilley could not come up with it. Thurman trots up with the football. Dickerson got a hand up and knocked it away from Tilley.
I tell you, with 3rd and 15, I was a little surprised that they passed here. I thought that maybe they'd just run the clock off. Now watch the deflection here. We'll see it here. Hart really has pretty good protection. Dickerson tips it there. Tilley dives for it and didn't get it before it hit the ground. Even if he had caught it, it would have been short of a first down.
So it's Birdsong back into kick. And Jones deep for Dallas. I got a feeling he's about due to break one. Jones. Well, Dallas did not try to set up a return. He tried to block it. Ball bounces. Jones gets away from it wisely. Bounces down to the 18-yard line. 23 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Roy Green, the first man down to down it. There's Jim Hannafin. There's Roy Green. One timeout left for the Cowboys.
There's a guy, he probably has 2 or 3 pregame meals. He has one as a special teams player, which he just did. He has one as a defensive back, which was saying, and he has a third as a wide receiver.
They say he's just unable to be tired. He doesn't sweat, never fatigues. That's why he can do all that, I guess. Day's work. Cowboys are running out with Dorsett just hanging on to the football. Baker takes him backwards and shoves him finally. And Tony Dorsett said, "Why'd you do that?" "That's not necessary."
Even dropped the mouthpiece out of his mouth when he's...
That's the famed arch in St. Louis. Pat Summerall with John Madden, 10-10, the Cowboys and the Cardinals. Jim Hart loosening up, had a good first half, as did Danny White. Score is tied 10-10, and most of the people here say it's a typical Dallas-St. Louis game.
When we look at the total yards, they're about even, and the first half has really been a game of turnovers. Dallas had 1, St. Louis had 2, and they turned into touchdowns and scores, 10-10.
Total yards very nearly equal, 159 for St. Louis, 155 for Dallas. Raphael Septien will kick off for the Cowboys. Stump Mitchell is number 30, the rookie from the Citadel. High kick from Septien. Mitchell for the 7. Breaks 1, breaks 2. Mitchell steps out of bounds and is really popped in the back by Steve Wilson. Angelo King finally hit him. It was King that put the good crunch on at the end.
That was a nice return that they had. Mitchell took the ball up the middle to draw the Cowboys coverage team to the inside, and then he'll take it to the outside. We'll see it again. See, he starts straight up the middle, make them come down inside, then he takes it and bounces it to the outside, and he darn near had it right there, but he ran out of sideline.
28-yard return, first down Cardinals. Jim Hart, the quarterback. Otis Anderson deep, and then Otis with the football. Anderson, with that great strength, gets about 6 yards before Bob Brunig takes him down, number 53. Anderson weighs about 220, and can he move?
It looks like about 240.
Danny White, 6 out of 13 for 74 yards first half. Not good for him. Hart, 9 out of 17, 105. Hart had a hot start, but it cooled off a little at the end of the first half. 5 yards for Anderson on that carry. He's still in the backfield with Wayne Morris. Out to Gray. Dennis Thurman was about 15 yards deep off Gray. And as long as they stay that way, they might as well throw that every play.
They tend to do that to Mel Gray, and I would suspect that they'll do this early in this half, and then somewhere they're going to try and sneak or get Mel Gray deep. They'll get Dennis Thurman to move up, to move up, to move up. Then Mel Gray will try and run by him.
Which he is capable of doing.
He's done it once or twice.
That's his career average. Almost 20 yards a catch. Over a mile in yardage. Over 3 miles, as a matter of fact. Here's Anderson shaking a couple of tackles. Penalty marker goes down. Anderson a little bit disgusted. I don't know if it's with himself or with the penalty.
Maybe the penalty, maybe some of the blocking. He'd like to have a few more of those blue shirts blocked for him when he gets to that outside.
Cowboys have always been difficult to run against.
Of course, that's that flex defense. It's really primarily a run defense.
Holding. Offense. Number 24. First down.
John, we've heard so much about the flex. What is the purpose of the flex and lining up off the line of scrimmage?
Well, the flex defense is they have 2 men on the line of scrimmage that are penetrators. They take off. And they have the 2 flex men that are readers, and they read and pursue, and they have 5 linebackers. No flex here.
So they're all going, is that right?
On a passing down, they all get up. The flex is off.
Knocked away by Steve Wilson on a good play. Roy Green, the intended receiver. Watch that rush. No flex again.
Now, we always talk about that. They only use that flex on running downs. Now, watch here. See, they're all up on the line of scrimmage. They're all taking off. They had a stunt. Harvey Martin came to the inside. Randy White went to the outside on that.
So you figure 2nd and long, another passing down. 2nd and 20 back at the 35, so no flex this time.
There'll be no flex. They'll all be up there. They'll have the 4 linemen up there. They're all thinking about that now. They're saying, let's take off. Let's get a good pass rush. Everyone wants to get up as close as they can to the ball.
You see Dickerson, number 51, the bottom of your picture on the right, and Benny Barnes in the middle. No middle linebacker now. Barnes making quit, doesn't. They run a draw play. Nothing doing as Dickerson comes down on top of Anderson.
What they were trying to do is set up a passing formation, and they knew that Dallas was in their, quote, pass defense. They were trying to break Otis Anderson on a draw play. Looked like he slipped or stumbled right after he got the ball.
Green Bay, 20-0 over the Giants.
Well, John Jefferson's doing in that way. He caught 7 passes last week after 2 days.
Off to a great start last week. Here's Hart back to throw. There is not a blitz. Here comes Dickerson late. Oh, Walls had a chance. Everson Walls had a chance for another one. He has 4 already.
But I'll tell you who caused that one. It was the pass rush, because Hart really couldn't get on the ball what he wanted to. Now watch Harvey Martin, 79. See him, he just grabs him, and then in comes Dutton up the middle, and Hart couldn't step and put anything on the ball, and Walls should have had it.
Pass intended for Mel Gray. James Jones goes back deep. Carl Birdsong. 42.5-yard average. Birdsong came to the Cardinals from Buffalo. Good snap. Fine kick, chases Jones all the way back to the 12-yard line. And Jones at the 20. Knocked down quickly. Good coverage by the Cardinals. Dave Steep. And here's Jim Hart coming off. With 12:59 left in the 3rd quarter in St. Louis, it's the Cowboys 10, the Cardinals 10. chilly. John Madden said before that some of the players were out early because it rained all morning, checking out the correct type of footwear, and Tilley's making a change.
He was putting on a brand new pair of shoes. That's the first time they had laces in them.
Here's White. Nothing doing. Intended receiver was Springs. White was under pressure from Charlie Baker, who's had a good game.
He was under pressure from that backside, and he felt Charlie Baker coming. Because no one blocked Charlie Baker, and Danny White knew that he had to get rid of the ball.
Dallas average on first down is still good. It's decreased considerably. In the first quarter, it was over 17 yards. And Lewis has kept the ball quite a bit more than Dallas. Scores tied nevertheless 10-10. Dorsett and Springs behind White. Hand off Dorsett. No place to go, and Dorsett loses yards. Collier was the first man there.
Boy, did Tim Collier play that well. That's what they call a force by a cornerback. When they start to sweep, it's a little delay. See, it's a counter. We have the guard pulling out there, but watch Collier. He went right over the block, got Dorsett before he could turn upfield. Watch Collier, 44 there. The minute he sees run, he comes across the line of scrimmage. He's right there. Dorsett doesn't have a chance.
Dallas goes into the shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the game. Tony Hill is one out to the right. Johnson and Pearson to the left. Pollard with a good rush. Nothing doing for Danny White. Severe rush this time.
He had some offensive linemen downfield, too, I think. That was, you know what that was going to be? It was going to be a middle screen or that shuffle pass. They were going to go down and try and get the ball in the middle. Watch this one again. Now watch, see, they blocked the stunt. Now watch these linemen here. Watch them run up the field. You see, they start to go up the field. They were trying to hit the screen in the middle, right there, and the linemen are downfield. That was an illegal play.
The pass was meant to be for Ron Springs as the lineman released, but Bob Pollard was just too quick. He was back on White before he could do anything. And White standing right at the goal line. Stumps Mitchell. Deep to the Cardinals. Fields it at the 43-yard line. Mitchell gets into Dallas territory. Here comes the football. Cardinals have it.
I don't know if they're going to give it to him with that long gain or if they're going to say that the ball was down or dead. Geez, that flew out of there funny, didn't it?
Sure did. Randy Love comes up with a football, number 40 from Houston.
And they're going to give it to him where it was recovered. Now watch, he starts in here, and when he comes out, he takes it up the middle here. Now watch when he starts to get tackled here, he's spinning. Now watch, right now the ball just pops out of there and goes about 20 yards. Look, it's loose before he went down. There was no whistle. Geez, White was there, but Love beat him to it.
The Cardinals take over in good shape with the Dallas 30. First and 10. Hart going right to work. Pump fake. Going deep. He's got Ella. Got Green. Touchdown. Touchdown. Roy Green with a spectacular catch.
Look at Jim Hart. So he wasn't trying to hit Green, but that was one great catch. We use the word great catches. We use them too often, but I'll tell you, that was one. That was a one-hander. He was trying to go to Tilley, and then he looked and he saw Green deep in the end zone. Watch, we'll see Green here. He's isolated. He's going to run a post. He's going to run right to the goal post. Now watch him here. He has it. He's by Charlie Watt. Look at that. One-handed catch. Both feet inbound.
Not only the catch he had to worry about, but keeping his feet inbound. And the Cardinals move back ahead, 16-10. Spectacular catch by Roy Green.
I think there's some problem down there in the field, Pat. Right where Green caught the ball, the officials are still standing there. Roy Green won't give up the ball. He said he's going to take that home. But down there in the end zone, the officials are there with some equipment or field type people, and I bet they have a hole. Look, see, they're pointing down there. There may be a hole in the turf or the carpet.
Or maybe one of the officials got hit.
Oh, that's right. That's a trainer out there. Yeah, he's checking his ankle.
Now, those look like the shoes that I wore.
There's no kicking toe on it, though.
A spectacular catch by Green.
This is an amazing story. A defensive back. They needed a receiver. They move him. Now watch the speed. He ran right by Charlie Walters. He beat him by 5 yards. Then one-handed catch and both feet in.
And Green hit the official as he was reaching up to make the catch, and that's what caused this trouble. Hit it with his foot.
You see, Hart, he was looking short for Tilley, and then he saw Green deep. Now watch Green hit the official as the official started to move.
We thought it was Green that hit the official, but it was Waters. After Green makes this spectacular grab, Waters hits him.
Right there. No one's safe out there in that field when these two teams or any two teams meet.
Get them all.
Every man for himself.
It'll be O'Donohue with Worley holding, trying to make it 17-10. Undefeated Dallas. So far, at least. Cardinals were 1-3 coming in. But that doesn't make any difference. Those records don't. When these two meet, particularly here in St. Louis.
They sure don't. You know, the last 4 times that they've met here in St. Louis, it's been a tight game each time, always won by Dallas in the last quarter. I was talking at halftime to Tex Schramm, and I said, what do you think? And he said, typical St. Louis game in St. Louis. He said it's going to come down to the last couple minutes, and that's what it looks like.
Indeed, it does look like a different Cardinal team than when the first time these two met. On a hot day in Dallas, O'Donohue will kick off. Jones will be back deep for the Cowboys. The day that started out full of thunder and lightning has now become a bright, sunshiny one.
You know, another thing, the Cowboys really don't look like they've recovered from that Monday night game. I know last week against the Giants, they felt that they were lethargic and you know, coming off the Monday night game, and they still look a little that way. They don't look like the sharp and fresh and precise Cowboys.
O'Donohue lines it to Jones. A yard deep in the end zone, and Jones comes out. Runs into his own man, and now runs into a pack of birds. Randy Love, number 20, who excels on the special teams, down there early. Theodis Brown was down there, too.
We'll watch Love come down here. Now, this is the part of the game that the special teams players really have to do a job. Did you see he went right through that wedge? There were 2 guys. He went right through 2 blockers and came in and made the tackle.
You know, John, I think that's the people always ask what's the big difference in the game. That's when I played, you played. And I think special teams is one of the big difference.
It's a true specialty now. They have every position has a special player for it.
First down, Dallas. White has Dorsett in motion now. Springs behind him. Time to get things back together. If you're a Cowboy and Springs can't get it done, Harney, the first man to hit him. And that Cardinal defense is fired up.
The Cardinal defense is playing the run a lot better today than they have. Coming into this game, they were last in the NFC against the rush. And that's what Tom Landry was probably thinking. These guys aren't supposed to play the run that well.
No gain for Springs on first down. Make it 2nd and 10 from the Cowboy 15. Quick count. White this time. Looking to throw has Butch Johnson. And Johnson will have a Cowboy first down at the 31. Ken Green made the tackle. A lot of credit goes to Danny White for that one.
You know, and that's the type of scrambler that he is. You know, he scrambles, he moves just to buy some time, not to run with the ball, you know, like Roger Staubach did. Now watch him here. You see, he doesn't see anything open. Pass protection's okay. There's nothing. So now he runs out to the right, buys a little time. There's Butch Johnson. I'll get the ball to him. Okay.
White had missed his last 5 attempts before that completion to Johnson. And Butch continues to play extremely well. Reverse Pearson, a screen to Dorsett. And Dorsett with some room, breaking tackles. Dorsett back to the inside, down the sideline. Penalty marker goes down at midfield.
I think that's going to be against the Cowboys. It looks like an illegal block right there in the 50-yard line. You can see Danny White's face, and he knows it or feels it. That was one of those fancy plays. Fake reverse to the left, screen to the right.
The call is going to be against Drew Pearson, and he's very unhappy about it. He came over and said something to the referee, Chuck Eberling.
You know, it used to be in those situations it would be a clip. Now we have so many new rules about blocking high or be from behind or...
Illegal block from behind, above the waist, number 88, offense, first down, second down.
Thank you, Chuck. You got the downs right. That's good. But see, illegal block behind the back. Now, that's not a clip. You know, it used to be when they clipped him from behind. Let's see if we can see Drew Pearson in here. Yeah, right there, just before Dorsett broke.
Here's Dorsett trying to break again. Dorsett bangs close to midfield. Calvin Favren made the tackle. Short of midfield by about a yard. That will be enough for a first down. Illegal block from behind, above the waist.
Yeah, and then they have illegal blocks from behind, below the waist, illegal blocks from the front, below the waist. They have a nice list of those types of things now. Nice little package.
And they like to use them.
They can find a way every game.
First down, Dallas from their own 49. Cardinals leading 17-10. 8:25 left, third quarter. Dorsett again. No, it's Springs this time. The inside handoff, and Springs is wrapped up by Favren. About a yard.
One thing that the Cardinal defense is doing well is they're staying at home. You know, when the ball starts one way, instead of everyone pursuing so they can get those cutbacks and counters, they're all playing their areas, playing very, very good disciplined defense.
That, I'm sure, is an extra effort by the coaching staff because of the presence in the backfield of Dallas at number 33.
And they learned in the first time they played.
You got to stay home. Dorsett deep in the eye. White. Tony Hill will have another Dallas first down. Good pass from White. Good pattern by Hill. Textbook play.
Tony Hill, you know, he missed the whole preseason. He didn't play one preseason game, missed the training camp. Tom Landry said he's still working himself back into shape. He looked pretty good on that one.
Watch that ball all the way into his hands.
He does it with such ease and, you know, gracefully. He ought to be one of those dancers on that show with Joe Namath and Schroeder.
He's too big. 9 out of 18 for White. Three wide receivers are in the game now. Hill to the left. Here's the pitch to Dorsett. Dorsett around the outside. Scoots for another first down to the 25-24. Boy, when he turns the corner and lays it down, it's a streak. You can't pick up what number that is unless you know that style.
That is a scoot, and he does that as well or better than anyone. He started to the inside, you know, to hold the defense, then he cuts outside and just makes a foot race up the sideline.
Your team's still ahead, 17-10. You still got a reason to smile. Pittsburgh 10, New Orleans 3, second quarter. Steelers starting to get their act back together. Salvey to the left. This is that Jayhawk formation. Dorsett, not much of a fake. White's going to have to scramble and does. And throws out of the end zone and wisely. Nobody clean, so he just cleaned it off.
Boy, did he get hit right after he threw it. Rush Brown was right breathing down his neck, and if he hadn't have thrown it then, that ball could have popped out of there. You know, sometimes those quarterbacks don't have to see those defensive linemen. They can just feel them coming, and I think Danny White felt Rush Brown that time.
He seems to have that ability, John. Even though he doesn't look in that direction, he can tell when somebody's coming. Not everybody has that.
No, I've seen some where they haven't. Pat Hayden in the second game of the season really got leveled because he didn't see his insertion.
Here is Dorsett. And he is 15 at about the 16, and Dorsett might be shaken this time.
He really took a hit just as he was making a cut to the outside. He really took a hit from Collier.
Lee Nelson and Green also involved.
Watch this, you see it's a draw play. Good blocking up front. Now watch, just as he makes this cut right here, boom, that hit that he took. Boom.
That's the time when a face mask is such a blessing. He might have gotten caught in the chin with a helmet, nevertheless. Dorsett got up and trotted off the field and appears to be okay. There he is sitting on the Dallas bench. Seems all right. Harvey Martin back there trying to make sure that Danny White, who now has 3 tight ends in the game with him, and James Jones, the tailback, with Ron Springs, the fullback. Jones, number 23. Third down and short yardage. They give to Springs, and he bangs and barrels down to the 10, first down. A favorite Dallas play.
That was that old tight end trap. They have 3 tight ends in there, as you say, and one of the tight ends is Jay Saldy, and he's on the left side. Now we'll see him come into the picture. See, he starts motion. Now watch, right there, he comes in to trap or lead the block for Springs. That's their biggest play on short yardage. They get an extra blocker at the hole.
Scott and Donovan double team Dawson, and they just smothered him. First down, Dallas at the 10. Give it to Jones. He's to about the 8. 6:25 left third quarter. Cardinals leading by 7, 17-10.
I know one thing that the Cowboys are thinking about right now. You know, they're inside the 10-yard line. They've been there 11 times this year and haven't scored a touchdown. And that makes you a little paranoid after a while.
That's one of the reasons why Septiem's record is so good this year.
Tom Landry said he thinks the cause is that there's a lot more zone defenses down there and it's tougher to score passing.
And it's second and goal from the 8. Dorsett is back in the game in the defense. And the pitch is to Dorsett. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 6. Again hit hard by Ken Green. Dorsett up slowly again, but this time he appears to be okay.
Ken Green helped him up. Now watch Joe Dupree right here. You see he steps down. It's a little tackle thing where they loop out with Cooper, and right there Ken Green gets up and knocks Dorsett out of bounds.
That block by Dupree was on Bob Pollard.
Yeah, see, he blocks down, and Jim Cooper comes to the outside, and Dorsett just can't outrun Ken Green, who was a safety coming from the other side.
Again, that frustrating situation for Dallas inside the 10. Having trouble getting in. White drops the ball, picks it up. Fires. Intercepted by the Cardinals, by Jeff Griffin. And Griffin just barely gets away from Rafferty, and the Cardinals will take over at their own 3-yard line. Kurt Peterson took him down.
That came very close to a safety as he was running that one back, but I'll tell you, he's happy on this one. Now this is a big play. Now watch. Right, he goes back. He goes to pass. He drops the ball. Artificial turf. It bounces right back to him. He can scramble. He gets to the outside, throws it for the end zone. We see the interception here. Now watch after the interception. He starts down the goal line. If he were to come back in, that would be a safety. But he doesn't, and it's not a safety.
Busch Stadium in St. Louis. At Summerall with John Madden. Cardinals 17, Dallas 10. The Bears starting to come back against the Vikings. Minnesota still leads 17-14, and New England over Kansas City 24-17.
New England's too good a team to lose 5 in a row.
They're 0-4, of course, going in. Kansas City was 3-1. Anderson and Mitchell. That is Anderson. They'll bring that one back and only marker down. Anderson almost broke it.
Boy, and that hurts because they want to get that ball off the goal line here. They want to get away where they can get out of trouble. Anderson broke it right up the middle, and that umpire who stands behind the defensive line was right there and threw the flag right away.
That Charlie Waters, I believe, who's shaken up for the Cowboys. Charlie, of course, has had knee problems. Some doubt as to whether he'd play last year, more doubt about playing this year, but he has.
Holding, number 51, first down.
Holding on Brahaney.
And that umpire was right there behind watching that, and he picked Brahaney off. It must have been an initial move. Looks like it may be Charlie Waters' shoulder.
Cowboy medical staff out administering to him. It's not the knee, it doesn't appear at least. 17-10 St. Louis.
That Summerall gave you the Chicago score, and here's how they climb back into it. Vince Evans, who's a good runner, pulled out on a pass play. No receiver open, so he took off, hoofed it into the end zone, 4 yards out. 17-14, bikes over the Bears, back down to Pat.
Brent Charlie Waters is out, has been replaced at strong safety for Dallas by Benny Barnes. So you have him in a strange position. You have young Dennis Thurman playing the right corner. You have the rookie free agent Everson Walls playing the left corner. And the other free agent rookie, Mike Downs, the free safety. First down for the Cardinals as Hart pumps, looks deep. Downs picks it off. Intended for Chile. Down, back to the 30, to the 25. Down at the 20. And the Cowboys get it back in great shape. Terry Steve made the tackle.
I'll tell you, these two rookies in that Cowboys secondary, Michael Downs and Everson Walls, sure do come through for him. Now here he tried to play pass, you know, to hold the defense there. He pumps to the left side. He sees Tilly deep. He really didn't get the ball past Michael Downs, who was in good position there.
You know, John, with all the sophisticated scouting systems that you hear about in the pros, Mike Downs had the reputation when he was playing at Rice of not being a hard tackler. What they didn't know was that he had a bad neck. It's pretty hard to stick your head in there with a bad neck. When that gets well, you become a different player. It's the first down. Springs for about 3.
I think that's gotten well. They've really had some big plays from those two rookie free agents, and I don't know, you know, Jim Hart looked like he was trying to go for the big one there, but you know, that's good if it's there. And sometimes when it isn't there, you just don't want to force it. He may have forced that a little. Now the Cowboys are in great position again. Now they've been there 12 times, you know, inside the 10 and haven't scored a touchdown.
And they're back at that door again, 2nd and 7 from the 18. Dorsett is the lone setback this time. Is deflected, but still complete to Butch Johnson. Butch is near a first down, about a yard shy, it appears. Roger Worley on the defense.
Again, you know, he doesn't want to throw deep. He said there's nothing there in the end zone. That's what Tom Lander was saying. The way they're playing him now, they zone that end zone. It's so tough to get it in there. It looks like the Cowboy plan is to either run the ball or to throw it in front.
San Francisco 30. The Washington Redskins only 3. Third quarter
They
score.
can score some points.
We'll see him next week against Dallas. Salvi goes in motion. Hand off Dorsett. Dorsett is pretty close to a first down. Cardinals are saying he did not get it. I don't think he did. E.J. Jr. was the leading tackler, number 54. See what Salvi did.
This will be a very interesting spot here. See now, Jay Salvi was a wing on the right side. He goes in motion, and he becomes the lead blocker on Ken Green. He does a nice job of kicking him out. This is going to be an interesting spot, and it's short. It'll be an interesting decision here what the Cowboys do, and I would bet that they don't go for the field goal. I think they'll go for the first down.
Septien is up close to Landry on the far sideline. You see number 1, and you're right, John. Let's get after him.
Well, it looked like he had a little victory sign there, a little two-finger thing. I wonder what that meant.
That means emotion.
Emotion? This is emotion. Oh, I love it. Go for it.
Dorsett and Springs will be the runners. Waters, by the way, has a jammed neck, and he should be back. Springs and Dorsett, on whom the burden rests. Salvi in motion. Danny White. I don't know if that was a busted play or not. but he got the first down.
Well, I think what he was trying to do is a counter quarterback sneak. You know, he's trying to get everything going to the left, and he takes a little step to the left, and he really made it on his second effort, and he's down. Danny White is hurt. Now watch, he steps there, he fakes to the back, and then watch that second effort right there at the end. But he got his shoulder hit there.
That is Lee Nelson that hit him, and that's his right shoulder. And he took a pretty good lick.
He sure did. I'll tell you, that will hurt in a lot more ways than one.
It'll hurt that man.
Looks like it's hurting him already.
He said last night to us in that conversation that, well, you asked him if Danny White had surprised him, and he said, oh my goodness, yes, I never expected him to perform like he did last year.
And then he said, then he said, well, he can't have another year like that. And he said he's come back and he's just having another year like that.
And Tom just asked Danny if he was okay. Tell you what, that artificial turf is very hard. Next week, Los Angeles, Atlanta, there's a honey. Philadelphia, New Orleans, Detroit, Denver. The Cowboys at San Francisco, and St. Louis against the Giants. First down, Dallas, and 10. And again, they're in a tough situation where they have to score without making a first down. Morano is the quarterback. Dorsett is clipped down. Lee Nelson, again the tackler.
They're doing a good job of penetrating these corners. You see, once you get up to the outside, you have to get someone up outside so that Dorsett can't make those turns and get turned upfield. The Cardinals have done an excellent job of doing that all day.
And Jay White, who just had the wind knocked out of him, is again the Dallas quarterback. There he is, number 11. A throw. And they have to hurry. That'll hurry into the end zone. Easy enough and easily done from White Dorsett.
They finally found a pass play to get it into the end zone, throw the screen pass to Dorsett.
Watch number 68, Herbert Scott.
Herbert Scott and Tom Rafferty were out there. Now watch them. See, they set on pass protection. Now see 64 there, 68 is outside. Scott makes the block there. Dorsett, instead of going outside of the block, cuts it to the inside. There's no one there.
Waters, who apparently is okay now, will hold for Rafael Septien, trying to tie the score at 17. Septien knocked it. And you know, John, I think Tex Ram was right in his comment to you at halftime. It is a typical St. Louis-Dallas game in St. Louis.
One of those that goes right down to the end of the fourth quarter.
Aren't these fun?
Yep. Randy White's complaining about something, and it's usually someone holding.
There's Dorsett. I thought he might have had his chin cut when he was hit before, but he didn't. Why is it that some players, John, can keep their shirt tail in and some can't? Randy White never can.
Well, you know, they used to have them where they would come underneath and button underneath, and some players had to do that, and now, you know, that's the thing in the rules only. NFL, they want those shirt tails in all the time. But I like the guys that don't have them in. I like those guys. What in the heck is this?
Septien, number 1 in the booth. Madden, number 1 in the booth.
That's great.
How do you feel about kickers?
They're weird. I think kickers are the weirdest group of people in the game. But I love them. I mean, this guy here's a heck of a guy.
He really is.
Yeah, he really is.
I wonder why they're weird.
They spend a lot of time by themselves.
Mitchell at the 5. And the stump is out of bounds just shy of the 30. Hit out by Dennis Thurman. Among others, there were some more Cowboys in the area. There's Jim Hart. And the other quarterback, Danny White.
Says he's okay. Jim Hart probably would like to have that one back that he threw that really
out of the end zone.
That, yeah.
Dallas drive, you saw. Cardinals, then the tight end Marsh, put him to the left. Dallas now goes back into the flex. Pitches back to Anderson. Anderson gets away from one and is swarmed on by the Dallas defense. Guy Brown lit him.
Yep, we see they don't get Harvey Martin blocked here. Watch to the outside. Soon when he goes to step to the outside, Harvey Martin is waiting right there for him. He had the outside. He had the containment. He didn't go for an inside fake. He just waited out there.
And now that situation that most people do not desire to be in. There's Tom Landry, of course. And that is second and long, or anything and long, when Dallas makes this change and shows you so many defensive fronts. Stump Mitchell in the backfield with Anderson. Hart back to throw. Into Tilley, and Tilley is off to the races. That same pass pattern, good for a first down. Dennis Thurman made the tackle. That's 5 times he's caught that same pattern today.
Jim Hart hit that one early. He found Tilley in that middle, usually underneath. He hit it early, and as you say, it's the 5th time he's done it. Now, there's the players. You know, that's a great stance. The left hand is up. The right hand is down. Number 21. Was that a... What was that? Was that a kicking stance or a...
That must have been a practice jersey. How about those shoes?
Look at the shoes. That right foot, the old kicking toe there. Left foot had a lot of shoestrings in there. You were a Cardinal.
I didn't make that work. Stump Mitchell, the ball carrier. Stopped by Michael Downs.
You know, there's someone that's still associated with football that led this team. It's not active as a player, as a coach, but led this Cardinal team 3 years in scoring. Who would that be?
That's not active?
It's not active, but it's still indirectly involved.
I guess it might be me.
Oh, Pat Harter. Oh, Pat Harter. He's a referee.
Official. Right. Here's that hit pass to Mel Dragan. And Everson Walls wrestles with him. Pat Harter was some fullback.
He's some umpire, too.
You get along with him?
I sure did. Here's Tom Landry. He was telling us last night that he doesn't get upset by officials' calls.
I don't worry about officials, he said. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score Dallas 17, St. Louis 17. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter after this word from your local station. With John Madden in St. Louis, Pat Summerall, as you look at the back of the Cowboy bench. Number 1 draft choice of the Cowboys last year, Richards. Third down for the Cardinals, right at midfield, just shy of midfield. They need about 3 for a first. Regular Dallas front. Anderson in motion. Hart back to throw. Gets it outside quickly to Willard Harrell, and he is swarmed and popped by Tony Dickerson. Oof, what a play.
I tell you, that is a tackle. He started out. See, he didn't even start back. Tilley tried to pick him there. It looked like it didn't bother Dickerson, and he met right there head to head. Willard Harrell, that had to hurt.
Dickerson left SMU, played in Canada. Worked out in Los Angeles at the airport for a while, then back to Houston. And now he's a Dallas Cowboy, and a good one.
That's one thing about the Cowboys. They have a great organization, and they'll take chances on players.
4th and 5, and Birdsong standing at his 33. Jones back at the Dallas 10. We saw him work on that yesterday. And Terry Steve gets the first down.
The old fake punt. They were practicing that out here yesterday, and we're saying, they won't use that. It's just something you practice all the game. See, instead of snapping to the punter, They snap to the fullback, Steve. He gets a little block there in a hole. He needed about 4 yards for the first down. He's running like a fullback.
John, I hope we can take another look at that and watch Birdsong.
It was a good fake, wasn't it?
It was no ball, but he kicked it well.
I know it.
First down, Cardinals, Dallas 45. Kick back to Mitchell. Mitchell, a yard. Watch Birdsong.
Did you ever do this?
No.
Watch this fake. Now watch the kicker. See, he kicks and he has the two-step thing, the whole thing, both feet up in the air, perfect follow-through. He even looked up to see it. I wonder if anyone went for the fake. I wonder if there was some guy back there looking up trying to find the ball.
That right there should tell you why they spend a lot of time alone. Second and 10, no gain for Mitchell. Anderson, the fullback. He gets the draw, gets away from one, gets maybe a yard. John Dutton made the stop.
Now watch Steve. He's so happy. You know, the last time he caught a touchdown pass a couple of weeks ago, he threw the ball into the stands. This one here's an equal reaction. That's a nice one.
They say he is the designated thrower.
The designated throw is a designated first down getter.
When they practice their kickoff returns, instead of depending upon the kickers to kick it to a designated spot, they have Steve throw it. They say he can throw it about 80 yards in the air.
He threw it into the third deck.
Third down, 10 Cardinals. Hart will go back. He will almost have time, and he doesn't. Too tall. Jones gets a hurry.
And Jim Hart is saying, doggone, we have to get too tall block, but there's one, you know. Sometimes it's the pass defense, it's the secondary, it's the linebackers and stuff, but sometimes it's the rush. And on that one, it was too tall, who was in there in Jim Hart's face and didn't let him step up and throw. I think Birdsong will punt this one, don't you? Like he's licking the fingers and everything.
Well, he should be warm.
He had a good stretch on the last one.
The Dallas stands at the 10. Steve Wilson on one side of it. Birdsong angling for the corner. Doesn't get it.
There's a penalty on the play up here, Pat, about the 25-yard line. It looked like some extra stuff after the ball went in the end zone. This will be interesting. I'm sure that the Cowboys will get the ball because I think it was a late flag. Officials wearing glasses. You see number 15 there. Years ago, you never saw an official wear glasses.
Have they admitted something?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's against the Cardinals. So I think it'll be Dallas's ball, and they'll just add 15 to it. Yep, that's what they're doing.
This will be interesting. How do you block illegally without the ball?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 35, after the touchback. First down.
Jeff Griffin, 35.
That was right there. You see the ball's in the end zone. Now watch Griffin right here, number 35. See, he's being doubled. He's playing against the double, but no one's going to return the ball.
Landry, third winningest coach in NFL history. One ahead of Don Shula. And Shula and Landry both keep winning.
You know, the amazing thing is how long they've been in this as a head coach. I feel that you probably have about 10 years in you as a head coach, and these guys they're just amazing.
Man says he enjoys it more now than he ever has.
He's an amazing man in a lot of ways.
He sure is. First down, Dallas, their own 35. Pearson comes in motion. Set for quick 7, and when he gets 7, it is a quick 7.
Doesn't take him long to get those things. I tell you, when he gets turned and he gets those shoulders square and going up the field, he can really scoop.
The Packers over the Giants, 27-7. The Giants record was 2-2. The Packers are 1-3 going in.
at those two clubs. Yep.
7 for Dorsett, second and 3 at the 42. More for Dorsett. About a half-yard shy of a first. Mike Dawson made the tackle.
Mike Dawson's a nose tackle, and he got past the center, Tom Rafferty, and he got penetration, but Dorsett just bounced right off it.
24-21 now. That's turned into a hunting. 24-21. The score, I mean.
Yeah. I was surprised that Vince Evans was playing today. I thought he was out.
Dorsett 2 yards shy of another 100-yard gain. Springs has the first down, almost broke it all the way. Ken Green made the stop, but Ron Springs moves into Cardinal territory.
I wonder what they call this formation. It's the 3 tight ends. You see, again, Jay Saldy. You see him come from the outside in motion. He made a great block on the nose tackle, Mike Dawson. What a block. Watch this. Watch 87 right there. Great timing. Dawson's just coming off a block, and he puts him right on his back. Woo! Tight ends aren't supposed to block like that, are they?
I don't think so. 2010 Buffalo over Baltimore. James Jones has replaced Dorsett. To Jones. Dallas first down.
I think they brought Jones in for this play because he starts out as a wing out to the left, and he runs just a corner pattern right there between the deep man and the short man, and there was no one there. Both feet inbound. See him, he's starting right here. You see he's the wing back up there in the line of scrimmage. He starts out, they have a short man here in Springs, and there's a deep man on the outside, and Jones runs right between the two.
Wide open. Here goes White again. Throws to Dorsett, and Dorsett is hit immediately by Green. Has to be about a 5-yard loss. A lot of Cowboy fans made the trip up here from Texas.
We stay at the same hotel, and they fill up the lobby pretty good, those Cowboy fans. They were there last night waiting for the Cowboys en masse.
And the lobby gets a lot fuller when the Cowboys arrive.
Look at San Francisco. What a game we're going to have next week with San Francisco and Dallas. Two great quarterbacks.
Most of you watching this one will see that one. Danny White will be in action. Joe Montana is having such an outstanding year for San Francisco. The wide receiver group is in. White has good protection. Batted away by Roy Green. Intended for Doug Hunley.
That was great defense because Donnelly has a step or two on Roy Green here. Now watch the catch-up. Right at the end, boom, he came in and put that left hand over and knocked the ball down. It looked like he may have had a little contact before the ball got there, though. Woo.
Shotgun. Dallas is 1 out of 7. Let's see if we see it now on 3rd and 17 from the 35. Yes, sir. White packed away. A lineman down. Springs moves back next. Just stay there to protect. Here comes that blitz. White lost the football, got it back. Alvin Favron, as the Cardinals really put the rush on.
Favron looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Watch him come from the outside of the screen to the left of the screen. Boom, right there. Knocked the ball out of White's hands. It takes an artificial turf bounce. White comes up with it.
Lee Nelson with the big rush as well. Number 38. Watch him flash pass.
Right there. He was the one that knocked the ball out of White's hands. That was a nice bounce for the Cowboys.
Sure was. Here is Danny White deep. Stump Mitchell. Back at the 10, and White looking for the sideline. He has it somewhere close to the 10, it would appear. At the 5. Good kick by White. Nobody does that better than he does. 17-17 the score. Dallas and St. Louis Cardinals against the Cowboys. Tonight on CBS, it's Premiere Week, John. 60 Minutes, Archie Bunker's Place, a full hour. Special, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John M.D. They're all new episodes.
That's a good lineup, isn't it? I'll watch that tonight. I don't leave until tomorrow morning, so I'll be able to watch that whole entire lineup.
What time is your train?
8:45 a.m.
And when do you get home?
Wednesday.
First down, St. Louis. Hand off to Anderson. Maybe a yard, nothing doing.
Again, the thing that they want to do out here is they want to get the ball out beyond the 5-yard line. See, they want to pop Anderson through. The Cowboys say no, that you're not going to be able to do that. They want to. The first thing you want to do coming off the goal line is get some room for your punter in case you don't make the first down. So he has his regular 15-yard drop.
Anderson got 2. They'll operate from the 7. Second down. Wayne Morris in the backfield with Anderson. And off Morris. He's got some room. Bob Brunig, the middle linebacker, came out to make the stop. But that punter's got a little bit more room now.
And again, this is the thing that you want to do, is continue to get the ball out. And, of course, while they're doing this, they want to get a first down. Watch Morris. He starts to the outside to draw it out, then makes a nice cut back here, starts to, and then, of course, there's 3 Cowboys waiting.
That was for Haney out in front of Morris. Brunig made the tackle, but good yards nevertheless. 3rd and 2.
This is a big play in this game. Run to the right.
Coming this way.
Yeah, it is.
Short of the first down.
This was the play we were talking with Coach Jim Hannafin yesterday, and he was telling us that that's the play that he thought that he could run in short yardage and not only pick up a first down, but maybe break a big one to Otis Anderson.
They almost did against Dallas in the first game.
Right, and he thought that this could be the one. And, of course, he didn't do either on that play. They didn't break a big one nor get a first down.
John, at least they accomplished what you were talking about. They got some room for that punter.
That's right.
And Birdsong stands just inside the end zone. Will step out. Jones will field this spiral. Good kick. Over 60 yards. Jones looking for room and nothing doing. Cardinals again. Great punt coverage led by Chris Combs, number 80.
I tell you, the other guy that was right down there was Roy Green, and it was a nice coverage in that they had people down in the middle, Combs and Green, and then they had it contained on the outside.
5:46 left to play. It's the Dallas Cowboys 17. That's Summerall with John Madden in St. Louis, where we've got one of those typical Dallas-St. Louis games, as we've said before. That's the final score, 33-17. John, as you said, in New England is too good to lose 5 straight. Got too many talented people. Danny White, who was shaken up a little bit earlier, is still the Dallas quarterback. Dorsett and Springs still the runners. They go with 3 wide receivers. White will throw, and does. Tony Hill. That'll be complete. Inbounds. Not a first down, but very close. Roger Worley.
You know, after Danny White threw that one, he wiped his hand off. It looked like it slipped a little, because that's one thing on this short or quick out. You don't want to get that ball up there because those wide receivers are really exposed. That's probably what Tony Hill went back and told Danny White in the huddle. You know, don't leave me hung out like that.
8 yards on that play. Make it 2nd and 2 at the 47. Now comes out of the backfield and moves up to the left side. That's Dorsett. Just tripped up.
He was tripped up by Charlie Baker there. They pulled their guard. Their left guard, Herbert Scott, came out to block Baker, and they met right at the junction there, and there was no hole for Dorsett to get through. Although he's had some holes today, he's getting close to that 100-yard mark.
very near.
I have to say you were right. You said that Dorsett would gain more yards today than Otis Anderson.
I did.
It's not over yet.
No. Third down conversion for Dallas. Doesn't need much. They fumble the snap and they won't get the first down. Bob Pollard is all over White.
I'll tell you, it was going to be that same play. They had Jay Saldy again coming in motion. He was going to trap. Danny White fumbled the ball. He still tried to follow Saldy in there. Danny White's upset. He's upset at someone or something. Maybe Rafferty left a little early. See Saldy come in there. Pollard grabbed White. He didn't have a chance. And we have to say that this is the third center that the Cowboys have used this year. Of course, John Fitzgerald is out, Robert Shaw is out, and Tom Rafferty has moved from right guard to center.
Dump Mitchell back deep. White catches this one. That'll stay up there a long time. And Benny Barnes will be down to cover it and down it. He touched it at about the 4. And the Cardinals again will operate deep in the hole. Barnes. Penalty marker down. It's against Dallas. And Danny White will have to do it again.
They'll bring that one back. You know, Benny Barnes caught that ball, or he could have caught that if the receiver doesn't make any, if he doesn't go to catch the ball, if he doesn't make any attempt to catch the ball, is what I'm trying to say, then the guy coming down to cover it can catch it.
The penalty is marked off from the spot where Barnes downed it. And Chuck Eberling will tell us why.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 30 on the kicking team, clearly after the play was over. First down.
Clearly after the play was over.
Clearly after. I wonder what the unsportsmanlike conduct was. They ought to add a word and tell you, was it a hit or what they do wrong?
Jim Hannafin with his 1-3 Cardinals in a battle with Dallas. They're tied 17-all. On CBS Sports Saturday. Here in St. Louis, it's the Cardinals 17, Dallas 17. In a game that started off with the Cowboys fumbling the opening kickoff. Cardinals recovering. Wayne Morris scoring the opening touchdown. 18 seconds deep into the game, the Cardinals led 7-0. Now it's 17-17. Those of you in New York, welcome to St. Louis. Pat Summerall and John Madden. 17-17 here at Busch Stadium. Cardinals first down. Morris, one of the running backs, Anderson the other. As Jim Hart fades to throw, and was caught by the tight end, Doug Morris. Coming across the middle, Mike Downs made the tackle. They'll move the sticks. The Cardinals pick up a clutch first down.
That 15-yard penalty, and then this big pass on first down to Morris. This is what Jim Hart wanted to do. Throw on first down. Throw against the flex. Only get the two-man rush, and he finds his big tight end target in there on Doug Morris.
Number 25 is Roy Green. Here's the way the Cardinals got their second touchdown. They moved ahead after this, 17-10.
Right past Charlie Waters, one hand, both feet in. Great.
We come back live and watch Otis Anderson break into the Dallas secondary and pick up about 6 or 7 yards. Everson Walls led the tacklers. It is St. Louis 17, Dallas 17, 3.5 minutes left to play.
Otis Anderson
on a move.
He has that jersey on. It looks like he's been in a war. I'll tell you, they played for 57 minutes. There's only 3 minutes left in this game, and it all comes down to who plays the best these last 3 minutes.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Cardinals 17, Dallas 17. The Cowboys have never led. Willard Harrell in the backfield now with Otis Anderson. Tilley out wide to the right. Here's the handoff to Anderson. No place to go, and Anderson fights for a first down, and he very nearly got it before he's wrapped up by John Dutton.
It's going to be an interesting interesting spot here, but he does have the first down. I'll tell you, the Cardinals can keep the ball now because we'll get the 2-minute warning coming up here shortly. They may not have to run another play.
Cardinals would like to get one off before that 2-minute warning, I'm sure. They stay a long time in the huddle. They probably will get another one off. They'll have to. Or they'll get a violation. 8 seconds left on the 30-second clock as Philly comes in motion. First down Cardinals, and on first down Hart to throw. Underthrows. He was under pressure. A blitz by Guy Brown and Charlie Water. Neil O'Donoghue.
Someone ought to tell them it's only first down, Pat. I was telling you about the kickers. They're a different breed. Here it is, first down. His team has the ball. I'd never want my kicker warming up yet. Wait until it gets to be about third down, and we need you. We don't need you yet.
2:07 left to play in this football game with a score tied at 7 apiece. Green and Tilly out wide to the left. Here comes Tilly in motion. Hart with good protection has a man wide open. It's Green, and they're in field goal range now. Green at the 30. Michael Downs made the tackle.
That's right. They have a first down, and they're thinking more of field goal. They'd like to get one in the end zone.
Jim Hart, the quarterback. That's the day he's had. Cardinals broke on top, scored the first play from scrimmage after recovering the kickoff. Nothing doing for Wayne Morris. Maybe a yard. John Dutton tripped him up. Clock running. 3 timeouts left for both teams.
Now, the thing that St. Louis is thinking about, of course, is they want to score. First, they'd like to score a touchdown, if not a field goal. But the other thing is they want to take this clock down so that when and if Dallas gets the ball back, they don't have any time.
It'll be second down. There's the timeout situation. If they have to go for a field goal, obviously they'd like to get a little bit closer. Those of you who watch New York Green Bay, somebody moved, and Anderson set to throw, or at least let him think he might. Well, probably against St. Louis, George Collins.
Start, number 66, offense.
It was, and that's one thing that they didn't need in this situation, Pat. You know, of course, that knocked them out of field goal range right there. At the 30, it would be a 52-yard field goal. Now you're talking in terms of a 55-yard field goal. But once that offensive lineman gets set in his 3-point stance, he can't move. If he moves, they blow the ball dead.
Offense, second down.
This also did something else they didn't want to happen, and that is stop that clock. A minute 22 left to play.
Another thing it did is it put them in a long yardage situation where really if you get a first down, they probably have to pass on this down.
Second down, 13 at the 33-yard line of Dallas. Score is all even at 17. There's Hart to Morris. He gets back down inside the 30 to about the 28. It'll still be a long field goal. Ed Jones picked him up.
Now this will be an interesting call because you see the clock is starting right now. He can take it down and snap the ball with about 40 seconds left. Now if they pass and it's incomplete, that'll stop the clock. If they run it, they can run the clock all the way down. I'm surprised Dallas isn't taking a timeout.
I am too. It's third down and 9 from the Dallas 29. Hart, let's see if he puts it up. Draw play Anderson, he gets closer. Breaks the tackle. He might even have a first down. Great run by Otis Anderson. It's very close.
And now he came up with a big play. The Cardinals are taking a timeout now. They have the first down, and they'll have a lot of time now to work for the touchdown or the field goal. Watch this effort at the end. It's a draw play, a delay. He has the lead on Hare through it. But watch his effort right here, right now, right there. That's where he got the first down.
John, I'm not sure he got the first down. It's very close. But that's a great run and a great effort by Anderson. Scrambling to try to get there.
He had that ball up beyond the line. Oh, they didn't give it to him. You're right, it's fourth down. This is an interesting call here. It looks like they'll go for it.
O'Donoghue is standing out about the 40-yard line. It would be a 37-yard field goal attempt with 27 seconds left on the clock. Don't forget next weekend the Jockey Club Gold Cup, the Champagne Stakes, the Calgary Stampede, all of that on CBS Sports Saturday next weekend. O'Donoghue's in. Roger Worley, the holder.
If O'Donoghue makes this, I bet the Cowboys wish that they had used a couple of their timeouts so they had a little more time.
This also is why kickers spend a lot of time alone.
I wonder what they talk to themselves about when they're alone. Whew, what?
I can tell you when you
how does this one feel?
When you have more time, I can tell you. Good snap. Oh, Donahue. Got it. Oh, Donahue out to kick off now. 23 seconds left to play. A 37-yard field goal by Neil O'Donoghue. James Jones back deep for Dallas. It's not over yet. Dallas has all three of their timeouts remaining, but only 23 seconds on the scoreboard. And I'll guarantee you they'll think about what you said, John, why they didn't take a couple of timeouts.
They should have used them there before, and of course now they only have 23 seconds.
O'Donoghue hits a good high, deep kickoff, and Jones will bring it out. No, he doesn't. So there are still 23 seconds left on the scoreboard. Cardinals leading 20-17. Those of you who watched Washington and San Francisco, welcome to St. Louis, where things are bedlam. As Neil O'Donoghue has just hit a 37-yard field goal to put the Cardinals ahead by 3, 20-17. Here it is.
There was no doubt about that one. That is right between the uprights when it goes through. Then a little hook on the end, though.
And very high. 23 seconds left on the game clock. Danny White operating for Dallas out of the shotgun. Drew Pearson to the 45, and Dallas will call time. 15 seconds left on the clock yet. They need another one like that to get Septien in range.
You know, the last 4 times that these teams have played here, Dallas has scored last and won this game. Watch Pearson here on an in. They give him too much room, too much cushion, but you have to get him as
all week long. Still had to tackle his opposite, number 72, Harvey Martin.
He doesn't want to watch this. He was hiding his eyes. He said, we've done what we can. I don't want to watch it.
He's seen too many of these things come down to the last second. And Dallas pull it out the last 4. They've won in the fourth quarter. Crowd on its feet. Encouraging that Cardinal defense. 15 seconds left on the playing clock. Dallas now with 2 timeouts left. Danny White operating from the shotgun. Batted away by Collier, intended for Pearson. Collier knocked it out of bounds. 9 seconds now left on the clock. Dallas perhaps one more play.
Tom Landry's trying to think of that play. Look, he's trying to call that one play he has left. That one was in a double coverage. Hannafin saying, come on, lineman. He's talking to his defensive lineman. He says, we got to put pressure on. A sack would end it all.
Dallas moves again into the shotgun. Clock you see, still running. Here's White. Under pressure, and under pressure throws. Almost caught by Tony Hill. 3 seconds left on the clock. 3 more seconds. Tom Landry. That stern look on his face. The Eagles in Philadelphia would then remain the only unbeaten team in the NFC if this stays like it is. 3 wide receivers on that right side, John. It's like 4 of them. Penalty mark is down. Penalty flag. I don't think it can end yet unless that's holding.
Right. If it's an offensive penalty, it can end. If it's a defensive penalty, we still have one more play. the game's over.
The game is over indeed. And the Cardinals have upset the Cowboys on a 37-yard field goal by Neil O'Donoghue with 23 seconds left to play. Danny White, by the way, is still out on the field, and he might be shaken up a bit. Now he's starting to walk off. Happy day in St. Louis. Not for him, though.
Not for him, but look at Jim Hannafin there. There is a happy man.
What a whale of a football game.
Looks like he's been through a ringer, but it's all worth it right now. In a double coverage, Hannafin says, come on, lineman. He's talking to his defensive lineman. He says, we got to put pressure on. A sack would end it all.